Merci, Madame la Présidente. New Brunswickers, surprisingly, have no legal right to a healthy environment, as exists in a number of other provinces and territories in this country. Madam Speaker, that's why the health and well-being of New Brunswickers, particularly children, continues to be affected by environmental contaminants and degradation. Traditional environmental legislation, Madam Speaker, is absolutely essential. The Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act, the Clean Environment Act. Madam Speaker, it's not sufficient. We need a substantive right to a healthy environment entrenched in legislation, along with the procedural rights necessary to enforce it. My bill, Bill 19, that will soon be debated at second reading, provides that opportunity for this legislature to provide that right. The evidence is clear. Where a right to a healthy environment has been recognized in law, it has made a difference. Does the Environment Minister agree that New Brunswickers should have the legal right to healthy air to breathe in safe water?
Je reconnais le ministre de l'Environnement et des Changements climatiques.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Je pense qu'il est clair que chaque Néo-Brunswickois mérite de l'air propre et de l'eau propre. Madame la Première ministre m'a donné justement ce mandat qui avait été négligé pendant des années par l'ancien gouvernement, et c'est ce qu'on veut s'attaquer. Mon objectif, d'ici 2026, c'est que les lois sur l'air et l'eau soient révisées. Et c'est ce qu'on va faire. Dans les prochains mois, nous entamerons avec les parties prenantes, les gens sur le terrain, les gens qui ont un impact direct avec nos citoyens, c'est ce que nous allons attaquer. Merci pour la question et nous avons hâte de débattre en deuxième lecture. Merci.
Je reconnais le chef du tiers Parti.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Bill 19, an act respecting the right to a healthy environment, actually proposes to entrench the substantive right to a healthy environment in law, which we do not have, along with a number of procedural rights to ensure citizens can enforce that substantive right. To help counter voter cynicism, the Premier has said in the past that MLAs on the government benches will have the opportunity to vote in the way that their constituents want them to, as long as that vote's unrelated to cabinet decisions or their platform promises. The vote at second reading of the bill is on whether you agree with it in principle or not, so it can be sent to committee stage, where its provisions can be reviewed in detail and amendments presented. Will the Premier allow a free vote on Bill 19 at second reading and let her MLAs vote based on their constituents' wishes?
I recognize the Minister of Environment. I recognize the Honourable the Premier.
My apologies, Madam Speaker. I was in discussion with my colleague, and I think I understand the question to be whether we're going to allow members to vote as they see fit or participate in the debate of second reading. So that is how it works over here. If it's not a matter of platform and not a matter of something that we committed to be elected, that members can vote as they and their constituents, the people who elected them to be their voice, see fit.
I recognize the Leader of the Third Party.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. You know, Canadians have long been protected by substantive rights under the Charter, such as the right to life, the right to liberty, the right to security of the person. And I haven't heard anyone suggesting that there is any overreach associated with those rights. But what we don't have is a substantive right to air quality that doesn't cause, for example, brain damage in children, or a right to water quality that doesn't create intellectual disabilities in children. Madam Speaker, these rights have been available to Canadians living in Ontario for the past 30 years. We're not breaking new ground here. On an issue as important as children's health, I'm pleased to hear that the Premier confirms that MLAs can vote according to what they believe is the interests of their constituents. So my question is, does the Premier herself support the principle that New Brunswickers should have a substantive legal right to a healthy environment and vote accordingly?
I recognize the Honourable the Premier.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thank you for the question. I think we've had some conversations over this bill, and we absolutely agree, and we're very supportive of it in the original form that it came to us from the stakeholders, a passionate group of New Brunswickers that want to see that right to a healthy environment enshrined in this building. So it's something that our team has been working on with the folks who draft legislation and looking at the examples that he gave us from what's happening in Ontario and the federal government and other provinces to try to find the best path forward to put forward the strongest legislation that we can that is in the interests of protecting clean air, clean water, and environment for all New Brunswickers, and something that we've prioritized, as the member said. It's the mandate that we gave him to make sure that New Brunswickers have that clean water and clean air that they deserve, and that we have the legislation that supports those rights and those protections for the future.